Hello everybody, welcome to my stream. I'm DC. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky under DC Lasair. That's DC, Lasair. Just type !DC into chat. And whether you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, you'll get the dclasair.bio.link for all the things. It's excellent. Check it out. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. I was wondering why. I was looking at my chat and wondering why it wasn't going to YouTube, but it just went. So, yay, bot. Good bot. Thank you, bot. All right. So today is Tech Friday. Yay! We're talking about keyboards today. But first, let's get through announcements. So, tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific over on Vancouver by Night's Twitch channel will be episode 3 of Broken Spirits, my werewolf actual play show. And you can check that out right here. Boom, I hit a button. You see a link. Yeah. All right, excellent. So, let's see, what should we get into first here? Because it's going to be about keyboards. There's going to be a lot of links. Any other announcements? Next week, it will for sure be streaming on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, probably, yes. Thursday, I am leaving for PAX Unplugged. If you are going to PAX Unplugged, look for me. I'll be in 3D. Come on by, say hi. That'd be awesome. Let's see here. So come on by, say hi. Yay! And get a business card from me, because I'll have a business card. Yes. Yes. Oh, I forgot to add something to the tweet, because today's topic is all thanks to Sirius. So we are just going to give Sirius some credit on Twitter here for today's topic. Yeah, type in messages. So before we get into keyboards, the ins and outs of keyboards, there's lots of sale on things, as it may be Black Friday. So, at the time of this recording, so I've been looking at mechanical keyboards, and Sirius decided to tell me about Keychron sale. You can go to Keychron's website, or Amazon is also having a Keychron sale if you're interested in their keyboards. Let me give them credit here. They make wireless keyboards, mechanical keyboards. They look cool. You can find them at keychron.com. Anyway, Amazon having a sale, and let me get the link of the one I have coming, which we will talk about next week, and that is if I click the right buttons, you get the info. It's just that easy. Okay. And we don't need where'd that link go? Reload that. Got rid of the whole thing. Why did I get rid of the whole thing? Shouldn't get rid of the whole thing. Okay. Just want to get rid of what I feel is unnecessary. Okay. There we go. So, let me make sure this link is going where I think it should go. Yes, okay. Link is working. Yay, Link. Close that. Anyway, I am getting this keyboard. It is their K13 Pro Ultra Slim QMK/VIA wireless mechanical TKL layout with numpad custom programmable RGB with hot swappable low profile Gateron red switch compatible with Mac, Windows, Linux. Whew, that's a mouthful, eh? Yeah. So, I'm exhausted just saying all those words. And we'll dive into some of those. Yes, we will. But first, we're going to do a little keyboard history because I'm that kind of geek. So I'm not doing the whole typewriter thing, but I just want to go into why we have QWERTY, KWERTY, why, which is the first keys, the first alphabet keys on all of our keyboards, and why that is. So, it was a lot of the rumors, even when I was growing up and things like that, about why we had, who decided that QWERTY should be the way it is. Let me turn off notifications because I suddenly got a lot of them. Okay. Stop notifying me about things, phone. Thank you. So, the common wisdom was that we had QWERTY because people were typing too fast and the keys would jam up, because on a typewriter you get let me turn down Spotify. That's probably way too loud and I see a problem here. Let me reconnect. We're gonna pause Spotify there. Okay, so we have QWERTY keyboard, right? And one of the common legends is that people were typing too fast. And so typewriter works by the hammer, hits an ink ribbon, and then it leaves a mark on the paper, so the hammer with the letter on it hits the ink, and that bleeds through to the paper, giving you your keystroke. Yeah. And turns out it wasn't because people were too fast. It was because, and this is research that was done in 2011, and I have an article up here from The Atlantic that quotes this research. Let's go to demo window. But right here, the researchers tracked the evolution of the typewriter keyboard alongside a record of its early professional uses. They conclude that the mechanics of the typewriter did not influence the keyboard design. Rather, the QWERTY system emerged as a result of how the first typewriters were being used. Early adopters and beta testers included telegraph operators who needed to quickly transcribe messages. However, the operators found the alphabetical arrangement to be confusing and inefficient for translating Morse code. The Kyoto paper suggests that the typewriter keyboard evolved over several years as a direct result of input provided by these telegraph operators. So, there's your history. Here's the article for you to read over. And you can find this on a bunch of other sites as well, indicating this research. That, so the first keyboard, first QWERTY keyboard patent is patented by 3 people. There was like a main guy. Anyway, came up with the patent. And it was kind of a hit. He sold that patent to Remington, or Remington required the rights to the patent. Yes, Remington, the gun manufacturer. This was in 1830 something. And so Remington also made typewriters for they may still make some sort of mechanical input device. I don't know. But the QWERTY keyboard was a hit, and now you have Remington wanting people to use this new mechanical wonder, and they start training people on their keyboards, which is the QWERTY design, right? And the QWERTY design is pretty good. Oh, it's also not because of having similar characters or having the most used characters apart from each other, because in QWERTY we have E and R right next to each other, and if that were absolutely the case, the E and R would be separate. So you can find a line of this being involved with telegraph operators needing to quickly transcribe messages in Morse code, and that's sort of how QWERTY developed. Now, the QWERTY we have today wasn't exactly the first QWERTY keyboard, but we get real close. In fact, one of the letters was a period at the time. I think it was the R. And somehow that developed into what we have today. Let's see here if I can find another article on that real quick. There are other keyboard designs. So, here's a Wikipedia article. If you want to know some things, it's all right. But it does show you what the first model looked like. So the QWERTY layout was devised in the early 1870s by a fellow named Christopher Sholes. He also had a couple partners. His early writing machine was developed with the assistance of his friends Carlos Gideon and Samuel W. Soule. Anyway, there's the long Wikipedia article. Well, you can see it on the screen here. So yeah, and you can see what the kind of the original piano-like keyboard style looked like. And then we get, let's do this. And then we get 2, 3, 5, 6. And then here we have QWE, a period, TY. You can see we're getting close to QWERTY. And now our modern layout is this one here. You can see he had the layout here. Notice that the 1 key is not here, because typically they use the I for 1. And that was just to save on, the hammers here. And the O would be the substitute for 0. So that was just to simplify the machines. In case you didn't know that. Yeah, so that's why this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because I and O. And if you look at old documentation from, the late 1800s and going forward, it was the 1 and exclamation point were left off on some keyboards into the 1970s. So it was a while before the 1 and even the exclamation point were standard. But if you go back and look at documentations, you will see what looks more like an I and more like an O on early type things, because there wasn't a 1 or a 0. You just used I or O. And you can clearly tell the difference between I and O if you compare that to modern keyboards. So yeah. Then you get the combined terms. And there are other keyboards out there. The other one people will tell you about is the Dvorak, which it seems that there was recent research that Dvorak isn't necessarily more efficient than QWERTY. But yeah. So I wanted to do a dive into his keyboard history there for a minute, because I find all these things interesting. Not going into the first keyboard, but we're talking QWERTY, and our layout here in the U.S. is considered ANSI, ANSI, which stands for something, QWERTY, keyboard layout. And there's various designs just around the QWERTY keyboard as well. So anyway, we have keyboards. Yay! They're QWERTY keyboards for the large part. If you like other types of keyboards, great. Good for you. That's fine. There's some that, separate out. They're still kind of QWERTY, but they're like two halves, which I don't know if I could ever do. And so when we're looking at mechanical keyboards, now we jump forward a bunch. There's a lot to mechanical keyboards. Holy cow. There's this article on Android Authority. If your name's Andrew, there's no website that has authority over you. But Android Authority. Bam! Right here. And there's a lot of ads on this page, so I apologize. But we have mechanical keyboards, which aren't, the idea of mechanical keyboards aren't new, obviously, but they've become a new thing in this generation, if you will, of PC peripherals, that word. And so mechanical keyboards have a mechanical switch, unlike most laptops, which have kind of the I want to say rubbery membrane press down. You press it down, it's very smooth. You kind of get that press on it. If you use the laptop at all, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so what I want to show off was that they have a picture of the switch design of a mechanical keyboard, and it's probably the best one I've seen so far. So you have pieces to each key switch. You have your stem, your slider, the housing of the switch, metal contact leaves, and the spring, right? And all this goes into the PCB board and translates that to the ones and zeros of the character you see on your screen. Right? And then there's definitions for all these things here and what they do. All right. And so we have mechanical key switches, and we have so many different things about the keys on a mechanical keyboard. There's stuff like actuation force, actuation point, total travel, tactile position, tactile force, reset point, bottom out. And all these are related to pressing down on the key. What do you feel? What happens when you press out? The travel time between a key cap springing back up. And what it feels like as you press it down. Is there a midpoint stop? Do you have to press all the way down? And all that goes into keyboards, and which is wild. It's a lot. It really is a lot. So yeah, we have, and then we get into the main goal of keyboards, which is we have three main types of mechanical switches. which are linear, clicky, and tactile. Here's another article going through and explaining all what the type of 3 main mechanical keyboard switches are. So, linear, it's from this article, a light, smooth, and consistent keystroke all the way through to the actuation point. And let's go look at this article here. Get the magnifying glass back. Yeah. Providing light, smooth, and consistent keystrokes all the way through the actuation point. Yeah. So you got linear. We got clicky, which is the clickety-clack. Whereas linear keyboard switches are light, sensitive, and quiet. Clicky keyboard switches are heavier to press, more deliberate, and noisy. Then we have tactile. Often considered a middle ground, tactile switches produce a similar bump before actuation as clicky keys, but with a much more muted sound. So it's really up to personal preference on that. And then, of course, you have other mechanical keyboard switch types. And basically, we have colors related to the popular switch type. So we have typically red, blue, and brown. And let me see here if I can get I had a good article here up for that. I thought I had a good article up for that. Hold on, I don't need that article. And red, blue, and brown are each one's related to type of keyboard. Let's see here. Where is the... So, here's another one from the Wirecutter. How to shop for a mechanical keyboard. So, I like their definitions a little better. Linear switches feel smooth when you press them from top to bottom. Tactile switches have a noticeable bump partway through the key press. Clicky switches feel similar to tactile switches, but add a click sound to match the tactile bump. Now, I'm more of a fan of the linear switch. But, yeah, so there's a lot of... Once we get into colored switches, so, again, there's red, blue, brown, usually. And red is sometimes called cherry switches. There was a German company, I think it was just called Cherry, that made the switches, and they had a patent for a long, long time, but that expired, and so now everyone can make cherry switch clones, and you have a plethora of types of keys now, and different manufacturers are making different key types. Let's see here. What am I getting here? Getting too many things. Okay. So, different companies make different key types. So, we'll go back to the Android Authority article. Right here. As you can see, Cherry, patent its Cherry MX switch in the 1980s. But the patent expired recently. Cherry MX clones in the market. And as you can see, there's a lot of names. And then each one of these has type, linear, right? They can be linear, they can be tactile. Blue is clicky. Green can be clicky. Brown, tactile. And you can see they all have their own actuation force, their tactile force, actuation, total travel, up, down. You can find that. And then, well, now there's the Cherry company that makes all the different switches. But there's also this company here. I'm not sure how to... Cal? It doesn't give me a pronunciation. But they have their own black, red, silver, brown speed with different actualization forces. Do they have tactile force? No. They have different actuation points. They have, similar total travel, but not quite the same. These will all be similar numbers. But you can see here, Cherry, largely around 2. And then this company, 1.9. Gateron, which Keychron uses. Again, another name, Gateron reds, blacks, white, yellows. And if I wanted to replace the keys on the keyboard I have coming, it's going to be these Gateron ones that I got to look for, right? Then we get into Logitech, who has yet another set of keycaps. And they define them linear, tactile, clicky, right? Brown, tactile, blue, clicky, red, linear. But all these are different ones. And so, the color isn't necessarily the point. It's just a common thing. As you can see, Romer G linear. So if that's your keyboard, and this is when you're looking for keycaps, and if you got to replace the switches, you got to be mindful of the switch name as well. Here's another company. They make their own set. Different points, different travel times. Razer, doing its own thing. Green, orange, yellow, red optical, purple optical. So you got to look if it's clicky, tactile, or linear. And then if any of this other stuff matters to you, there's things to look at. It's a lot, right? And then there's a rabbit hole. Yeah. And then there's also, the keycaps themselves and who makes the keycaps. And, so this article in Wirecutter goes over the keycaps. So material, keycaps are made from different materials, ABS or PBT. And if they're more durable or not. The different, die sub keycaps, right? Different types of keycaps, different types of profile. Like if you have a keyboard in the US, you want ANSI standard keycaps at least. And then, it also has to match up with what kind of switch you have underneath because it needs to fit on those. And there's, a lot. And now here they go features that don't matter so much. I find that interesting. Palm rests, feet, and key rollover. Anti-ghosting isn't a thing to worry about anymore. Optical switches, all that. But yeah, so the Wirecutter article is there if you want to read that for yourself. I have a little bug flying around here that I'm going to squish it. Where is it? I don't know. So there's a lot to mechanical keyboards. As you can tell, and you peel off the caps. There's a picture of some of the tools used to take the keys off and the switch off. There's who did the photo. All this to say there's a lot to keyboards, and there's a pretty good sale on keyboards. So if you want a keyboard, by all means, go for it. The one I got coming has a 10 key. Now you'll see the term TKL, which means 10 keyless. And there was a keyboard size comparison. Who had the keyboard size comparison charts that were really useful? Because there's 40%, 60%, 75% TKL. Was it the Android article? Android Authority article, maybe? Okay, yeah. So again, you're going to see a bunch of ads on this website. Nothing I can do about that, but there's like the four prominent. They're claiming four prominent form factors: full size, 100% keyboard, 104 keys, dedicated numpad, 10 keyless, 80% keyboard layout with 88 keys, skips the numpad, 75% version of the 10 keyless form factor, cuts down spacing, similar to laptop, 60% super compact layout, 61 keys, skipping all the keys right of the inner key, including the arrow keys, and replacing them with function key-based operations. And then here's what I was talking about when I mentioned ANSI. And then there's ISO, JIS. These are the common types of QWERTY keyboards, the three standard layouts. ANSI gets used a lot. America, let's see here. Europe gets ISO. Japan gets the JIS. So yeah, there's a lot to keyboards all of a sudden, especially if you're getting into the keyboarding hobby. There's stuff to know, and if you want to build your own keyboard, which I'm probably not going to build my own keyboard ever. I just don't want to take the time. So yeah, let me do a quick refresh here. Let's see what time it is. So yeah, keyboards. If you like a keyboard, have ideas on keyboards or anything like that, please let me know. I'm going to take a very small break right now and be back in just a moment. So be right back. All right, welcome on back, everyone. Glad to see you. Thanks for sticking around. We're talking all about keyboards. Yay, keyboards. You like keyboards? I like keyboards. Keyboards are cool. So, yeah, this is getting my first Keychron keyboard. Oh boy, is that going to be a thing. They have low-profile, double-shot PBT caps. Whatever that might mean, I don't know. It'll be exciting. I'll find out. But the other thing I like about this particular keyboard is that it is programmable completely. It comes with software, QMK/VIA programmable macro keyboard, so I can have the keys do anything, really. And yeah, it's cool. Again, the keyboard I'm looking at is this one right here. Bam! Yeah, keyboards! I'm just going to say keyboards a lot. Keyboards, keyboards, keyboards. Keyboards, keyboards, keyboards. Until it doesn't make sense anymore to say it. So I'm getting the low-profile Gateron red switch, which we talked about already. They have a red switch. Yay! And this claims to be an ultra-slim wireless custom mechanical keyboard that allows anyone to master any keys or macro commands on its space-saving numpad 10 keyless layout through... Wait, no. This has a 10-key layout, though. Why does it say... Must be for they copied and pasted some. But it's a 10-key thing. The main thing I liked about this keyboard is that it's Bluetooth, and I can connect up to 3 devices. So I could have my iPad over to the side, and if I had a chat up on that, I could just hit a switch on the keyboard, and it would bing right on over. So that'd be pretty cool. And hey, a raid! Woohoo! Welcome on in. Thank you, Pirate, for the raid. Hello, everybody. I'm DC. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram under DC Lacer. Oh, and Blue Sky too. Just type we're raiding your tech. You cannot escape. Oh no, not my tech. If you type !DC into chat, you can get links to me. Go to dclacer.bio.link. I will be at PAX Unplugged. If you're going to be at PAX Unplugged, please say hi. I will be in 3 dimensions. Rather the 2 you see me in now. If you're there, make sure you get one of these fancy business cards. There's the logo done by 10, who is in chat. Because the point of business cards is to hand them out and not keep them. So, if you see me at PAX U, make sure you get a fancy business card. Because I want to give them away. It has a QR code on it that will take you to the bio.link site, which is a link to all my glorious links. If it's your first time here, I'm a producer, streamer, content creator of many things. And Fridays on this channel, we talk about tech. Yeah. You shall owe me one high five at PAX, sir. One high five. I appreciate the one in the quotes. I love that. I love doing that. That's amazing. So, if you want to see me be a storyteller, you can do that tonight over on twitch.tv/Vancouver by night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, where it'll be part 3 of my werewolf show. It's only 4 parts, so this is the Penny Epi episode of my werewolf live stream. But this is the episode where we get to hear the main villain, and I do a voice. It's exciting, so you should watch it. It's also going to be on Vancouver's by Night's YouTube if you can't make it to the Twitch. We pre-recorded these a few weeks ago now, and we're airing them live, and it's been fun going to chat, seeing everyone's reaction to all the things that I'm doing. So if that's of interest, please check that out. It's using the Werewolf the Apocalypse V5 rules. Kind of, sort of, homebrew stuff. Dog walk lurking, but be back soon. Awesome! Thank you again, Pirate, for coming on in. Thank you for the raid. Y'all be following Pirate. You can see his logo that popped up in the corner just a moment ago. And, let's see here. Oh, and keep track of my socials, as I will also be doing a D&D live play in the near future. I just got the final character art thing, and we're working on overlays. And once we get the overlays done, I will be broadcasting everywhere about this ongoing D&D live play, which will be more than 4 episodes. So please keep track of my socials for that if you like D&D, and if you want to see some of the flavor of my D&D, go to my YouTube, where you can find my charity streams that I did with people like Zero and Pirate. Just go to youtube.com/@DCLasair and the charity stream playlist, and you'll have a good time, I promise. They're all bakery themed, so check that out and hit the subscribe button, because I need more followers, please. Thank you. It makes me feel better. So today, for Tech Friday, we are talking about keyboards. Yay! And because I was curious, the history of the QWERTY keyboard and why we have a QWERTY keyboard, which was a lot. I gotta take a sip here a second. Hold on. So, let's pause the music. So, if you're unaware of the keyboards, let me find that article. Oh, why did I close that article? Bad me. I closed the thing I needed to look at still. Bad me. Bad streamer. Closing windows. Okay, there's an article in the Atlantic that explains it. You can find this in other article. So the common wisdom behind, or I guess the tale told, was that QWERTY was made to slow down typists, because typewriters would jam if you hit the keys too quickly. And if you don't know, a typewriter had a key associated a hammer, and the hammer had a letter on it. It pressed into an ink ribbon, which pressed into paper, making your letter. And but if you type too fast, these hammers could kind of jam up, and sometimes you would have to peel them apart, depending on your typewriter. So the wisdom used to be that QWERTY was made because it had a slow typist down. And it turns out the opposite is true. It was made to speed people up, actually, because you can track the evolution of the typewriter. And let me put this article back in chat. And we can go back to the demo window here. Boop. And this bit right here, researchers track the evolution of the typewriter keyboard, including that the QWERTY system emerged as a result of how the first typewriters were being used. Early adopters and beta testers, if even those were terms at the time, this is the late 1800s, included telegraph operators who needed to quickly transcribe messages. However, the operators found the alphabetical arrangement to be confusing and inefficient for translating Morse code. Kyoto paper suggests that the typewriter keyboard evolved over several years as a direct result of input provided by these telegraph operators. So people were translating Morse code into, A, B, C, D, and when the first keyboard, which was kind of a piano key layout almost, and had everything in 2 rows, and alphabetical order, and they were typing it, and how Morse code works and their translation, having that slowed them down. It took too long to do that because they needed to get through the Morse code quickly and get the messages out to where they needed to go. So eventually QWERTY was developed alongside them, and the first person with a typewriter patent with the layout is named Christopher Sholes. He's right here. Him and two of his buddies came up with the first patent for it, and either, I think they sold it to Remington. The Remington Corporation, known for making guns, they made typewriters as well. And so the Remington Corporation now having this QWERTY patent and making typewriters, and suddenly they're training people on how to use the QWERTY typewriter, or using a typewriter with a QWERTY keyboard, and it just caught on, right? So these people take these skills to other businesses. They know how to type on a QWERTY keyboard, right? Not on any other layout of keyboard. So that was partially responsible for it just taking off, plus the reliability of it for the Morse code operators. And that's why QWERTY stuck around. And the original QWERTY keyboard didn't quite look like this either. Let's see here. We got, I think the Wikipedia article has it. So here's the piano keyboard layout that I was talking about. Okay, and then the original, then we're getting closer with this one. And then here's one. You'll notice 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The R is the period. And you'll notice that the R is down here. There isn't a 1 because to save space, or a 0 because they would use the letter I and the letter O for 1s and 0s. So if you look at, and the exclamation point and the 1 wasn't really included until 1970s. So if you look at older documents that were typewritten, you have an I and O, and then when 0 put the 1 in things like that, because they would sometimes spell out 1 like this to not be confused with an I. So that on an inventory, you clearly knew that they meant 1 and not I, or 0. And so you can look at old inventories and things like that, and you can clearly see a 10, but it's an I and an O, and you know they mean 10 just because they wanted to save keystrokes. And eventually we get our modern QWERTY keyboard right here. 0 QWERTY, right? And it's been very successful for a very long time. There are other keyboard things, like the popular one mentioned is Dvorak, which there is also recent research to indicate that it's not necessarily the fastest for typing. And you may have a different keyboard layout based on your needs, which is fine. But most of us are using QWERTY. So, there. Explanation. Yay. We got through it. Woo! And that brings us to modern keyboards. Woo! Mechanical keyboards. Yes. As totally blame Sirius for this, as I spent money on a keyboard. But Sirius was looking at Keychron keyboards and mentioned that Amazon had a sale. And if you go to Keychron's website, they have a sale as well. Keychron makes mechanical keyboards. That's why we're talking about keyboards. So I have been given permission to totally blame Sirius for all of this. Please go follow Sirius. So I was showing off the keyboard that will be arriving at my house in a few days. And next week we'll talk about it. It's this one right here, the Keychron 13 Pro Ultra Slim QMK VIA wireless mechanical keyboard TKL layout with numpad, custom programmable RGB with hot swappable low profile, Gateron red switch compatible with Mac, Windows, Linux. Whew. That's the whole name of it. So, I could just say the Keychron K13 Ultra Slim, but why? So I'm getting the red switch, and we'll get into Gateron red switch in a moment here, things like that, because there is so much to mechanical keyboards. Holy cow, y'all! It's a ton of things, because just the history of the QWERTY keyboard, small part, but then we break that down into modern stuff, and we get into the different types of mechanical switches, the different types of keycaps, the different speeds at which key presses go. There is so many things. It's amazing. So let's get into it. Yeah. So clearly, I found this diagram that I really like, showing off a mechanical switch. And I will paste the article. There's a bunch of ads on the page, and I'm going to... The image I'm going to show is from this article right here on Android Authority. So your basic mechanical switch looks like this. There's a stem, there's switch housing, there's a slider, there's metal contact leaves, there's a spring, and all that pushes down into the board, and then that board sends a signal to your computer, and you get your character in ones and zeros. Right? And here's that article, and they give you definitions of keycap, stem, switch housing, slider, metal contact leaves, spring, all that. If you want to find all that out, do that. And yeah. And so the main basic overall variation is this next part of the article here. 3 basic switches. You have linear, tactile, and clicky. Linear motion, straight up and down. Tactile switches are designed to provide feedback. Tactile switches give you a nudge in the middle of travel to let you know the key press has registered, and you don't have to push the key down all the way. Clicky switches are tactile switches that have a click. So, if you like your clicky clacks, very clickety and clackety, you want a tactile switch. Now, we usually associate colors with some of these switches, red, brown, blue, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the way it works. So there was a German company called Cherry, and they patented the Cherry MX switch in the 80s, but that patent ran out. And so now you see all these other keyboard companies with Cherry MX clones on the market, named a variety of things. And so let me get to... Let's see here. We're going to go into those. Oh, keyboard size is the other thing we're going into. Okay, so back to the article. So, as you can see, this is from the Cherry company here. And, they have the MX Black, which is a linear type. And then we have the term actuation force, and tactile force, and actuation point, and total travel. And so when you're looking at your key types, you also have all this to consider. Now, they have Cherry MX red switches, which are linear. They have, brown switches, which are tactile. They have the blue, which are clicky. But, so cherry red, brown, blue, and you can see these all have different numbers. But then you go to other companies that have their own switches, like this one here. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, so I'm not going to attempt that. But they have black, linear, red, linear, brown, tactile, blue, clicky, and they have different actuation force, tactile force, actuation points, and total travels. And Gateron, the keyboard, Keychron uses these, so the keyboard I'll be getting, if I need new switches, I need to make sure they say this brand name in order to get them. And again, reds, blues, whites, yellows, brown, linear, tactile, different actuation force, tactile force, actuation point, total travel time. And to confuse things more, Logitech has its own variation. This company has their own variation. Razer has their own variation. Where'd Razer go? Razer has their own variation, right? And so these are things to be aware of. If you can find charts that compare things, if any of these numbers are important to you, beyond type, to me, mostly it's important if it's clicky, tactile, or linear. I usually go for linear switches. I like them the best, but that's just personal preference. And so, yeah, that's part one of what to look for keyboards. This is the type of switch. How loud is the noise? How quick is the travel time of the key press? Do you like any of that? Do you care about any of that? Do you just want a neat keyboard that makes clickety clacks? Up to you. There's no wrong answer. And there are other mechanical keyboard switch types. Sometimes you'll hear the word low profile. You'll see optical switches. There's hybrid switches. There's also electrostatic capacitive switches. And that's in this article here. You can read about all those there. And whew, it's a mouthful. And then, as if that weren't enough, when you're looking at getting your keycaps and replacing switches, and if they're hot swappable or not, you're also looking at the size of the keyboard. So let's go to this article. This other article. I found a lot of articles today, y'all. It's a thing. So the size of the keyboard. Now here's some sizes, but there's a 40%, 60%, 65%, 75%. You see TKL, that means 10 keyless. Basically means it doesn't have a number pad. And full size, which is your typical 104 keys. Right there. Let's see here. There was another article that showed the size, that did a size comparison of all these. Let me see if I can find that again. And by the way, there's different styles of QWERTY keyboards. We use, here in America, we use the ANSI, A-N-S-I style. There's a style in Europe called the, oh boy, what's it called in Europe? Europe usually uses ISO. Japan uses one called JIS. But these are all QWERTY keyboards, and just a couple differences where some of the keys are, but they all have our, alphabet on them, as it were, the Latin alphabet, if you will. As some sites refer to it as. Where was the? Sorry, there was a really good diagram of these different types, and I'm looking for that really quick here. Apologies. Not there. Oh, here we go. I think I closed it. All right. So, yes, Wirecutter. So, Wirecutter has an article on how to shop for mechanical keyboards. That's there. And they provide pretty cool diagrams of the layouts here. So 60% keyboard, 80% 10 keys is this other lighter purplish color, and then 100% is usually the size. So yeah, we'll get rid of that ad down there, clickety clack. And then you got your compact keyboards, 60%, and your 80%, which again, 10 keyless, 68%, 75%, right? And there's 40% in smaller keyboards, which I can't imagine typing on. And it takes out it takes out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. So not only do you not have a number pad, you don't even have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Which, okay, sure. There's ergonomic keyboards, and that goes into the switches. Again, linear, tactile, clicky. I get the feeling that this is mostly what people are going to be paying attention to, is whether it's linear, tactile, or clicky. Cherry Switch patents expired in 2014. So yeah, since 2014, people can make their own clones of Cherry Switches and just go for it. And keycaps, again, can be made of different materials. So that's a consideration if you want to replace your keycaps. What type of material is it made out of? There's a lot. From ABS or PBT, which I'm not even sure on the pronunciation of that. And you can find, this defines it. So yeah, that's a good overview of articles. If you want to program it, wireless. The advantage to the Keychron keyboard I'm getting, and one of the reasons I'm getting is because I can connect it with a wire, but it also has Bluetooth, which I can connect it up to 3 devices. So I could, say, have it on my computer, hit a switch, and then if I had my iPad over here, because I needed another chat window open somewhere I just didn't have screen real estate, I could type messages into that chat should I need it. And yeah, so without going into how to build a keyboard or anything like that, that is an overview of mechanical keyboards. And, oh boy, that was a lot. Thanks for sticking around for all that. I really appreciate it. We got some more here. I'm going to take a pause a moment, take a sip of drink. That is zero sugar Dr. Pepper strawberry and cream. It's pretty good. It's strawberry and creamy. But yeah, so if you have any questions on keyboard, you want to tell me about your favorite keyboards, by all means, type them in chat. Let's go on. Or if you have any questions about streaming tech, I've produced many thousands of hours of actual play shows. So if you have questions on doing any of that, please ask away. Now is your time to do that, because we're going to break into the second part of the stream, which is, or the Tech Friday stream anyway, which is tech articles and things I find interesting. So we're going to get some music flowing back here, because I will be looking up articles and things like that. And if you have anything you're interested in, by all means, let me know. If you see a tech, or there's a deal you're looking at, or anything, or if you have a curious about a brand or a piece of tech, especially now with Black Friday coming up, and all the Black Friday today and this weekend and Cyber Monday, if you want to know about a piece of tech, I may have encountered it, or I can give you a rather informed opinion on it. So please ask away. So we're going to do our typical looking for articles. So I have an V-squared. So I have an idea what clicky and tactile switches are, but what are linear switches? Right. So let's go to, where was... that go? If you want a... But what are linear switches? Right. So, linear switches in this article here. This has the most... That article there has big paragraphs of what each type switch are. But it provides a light, smooth, and consistent keystroke all the way through the actuation point. So there's no bump halfway down. You just press it all the way down and, it goes. There isn't a bump or a click. It just... it goes. They tend to be the most quiet. Tactile are pretty quiet too. Let's see here. What type of switches am I getting again? Let's see here. Where was... let's see here. And here we go. The Wirecutter has a simplified version of those large paragraphs here. So linear switches feel smooth when you press them top to bottom. Tactile switches have a noticeable bump partway through the key press. Clicky switches feel similar to tactile switches, but add a click sound to match the tactile bump. That makes sense. Yay! Something I said made sense. Whew, I'm as amazed as you are. Okay. So yeah, and now where did... I am getting... Yeah, I'm getting the low-profile Gateron red switch, which should be tactile. If I understand all the terms correctly. But again, as we've seen, there's a lot. And different manufacturers, different types. Let me make sure I'm saying this right. Oh no, I'm getting looks like I'm getting linear switches. Yes. Yeah, I'm okay with linear. Yeah. Yeah, it feels smooth when you... Yeah, that's why I wanted linear. Sometimes I can read and remember one word from one thought to the next. It's amazing. So yeah, I like the less clickety clackety. All right, and back to looking at articles again. Any questions? We're taking them right now. Well, I see if there's anything neat. Okay, that just has a bunch of Black Friday deals. Again, if there's a deal you like, let me know. Otherwise, I'm probably not going to go into too many Black Friday deals, but when we get into the TTRPG section, I'll probably talk about a few companies that have them going just because they're TTRPGs, but you can find tech sales everywhere. That seems to be dominating the tech news right now. Oh, okay. So I will mention a Black Friday deal just because it's 1Password, and I use 1Password, not sponsored or anything, but if you... 1Password is a company that makes basically password vault, puts it on your computer and stores them securely, like ridiculously securely. They have also rolled out support for passkeys, so you don't even have a password. Okay, thanks. Okay, so one password here. Let me get this article. They recently support passkeys, so you don't need to type in a password. You just have to have the passkey, which you can do with your phone. Go to that. They're a pretty good service. I like them. I've talked about, if you go to if you subscribe to my Patreon, I have an article up about using passkeys and going passwordless, things like that. It's slightly ongoing, but yeah, you can subscribe to my Patreon for $3 a month and get exclusive articles on TTRPG thoughts, passkeys, experiments with various tech, my slides for when I do the producing a TTRPG stream at a convention. Those are up there. And yeah, so please check that out. Again, $3 a month is all that takes to get those articles. There are other tiers, but $3. It's less than a Twitch sub. Let's see here. All right. So we were going through tech news. I'm not seeing a lot beyond everything is a deal. You know, Tech Friday or Black Tech Friday. Tech Friday is the show you're watching. But yeah. Let's do. All right, I'm not seeing anything cool here. All right, so TTRPG stuff. Let's break into it. First of all, some sales. If you go to D&D Beyond, if you're interested in D&D books, there is a save up to 50% off D&D books on this D&D cyber sale. I believe Amazon is having a sale on the physical books as well. So either way you want to do that, take a look. D&D Beyond, and then you can search for it on Amazon yourself. Other companies, Modiphius is having a pretty good sale on their books. So you can get 50% off some, up to, I think, 50% off some books, maybe more. If you're looking for them, they do the new Dreams and Machines, Fallout. So if you're interested in any of those titles, that's a pretty good sale. And the people over at Modiphius are... The people I've interacted with at Modiphius have been very wonderful. So, you know, if you like Dune, Star Trek Adventures, that's pretty good sale on books. Right there, who else had a sale I wanted to point out? Sorry, my cat has decided it's time for me to pet the cat, so I need to pet the cat. I don't know if you heard that meow over the mic, but that was a mighty roar. For my cat to let me know that they are indeed next to me and that they indeed need the pets. So now we're petting the kitty. Good kitty. All right, you good? Are we good with the petting? Probably not. You'll probably meow again, won't you? Okay, petting the kitty. Hey, kitty. All right. Norse Foundry is having a sale, up to 30% off almost everything. So, you know, dice and stuff. Norse Foundry and who else? Hey. Get away from there, cat. All right. No eating the green screen. Got it? Okay, don't eat the green screen. Thank you. Thank you, kitty. You know, if you keep staying here, I am going to put you up on camera. What are you doing? Hmm? Alright, come over here so I can pick you up. Alright, everyone, this is Hannah. This is my kitty. Hi. Hi, kitty. Say hi to Hannah. This is my kitty. Oh, is it gonna be time to get down soon? Is that it? Huh? Huh? You think you want to get down? Oh, you want to get down? Okay. There you go. There. But I still have to pet the cat because, you know, doesn't like to be held too long, but does want the pets. Yeah. Yes. As if I don't give you attention. Good kitty. Yeah, what are you gonna do when I'm at PAX U, kitty? Huh? You're probably gonna meow your little heart out, aren't you? Yeah. I'm sure I will be told tales of your mighty meowing while I am away. As this is what happens when I go away, isn't it? You just meow all the time. But you will have food and love and everything while I'm gone. So, you know, you'll be fine. Make sure of that, right? I'm gonna take care of you. Yeah. All right. Where were we? Oh, right. Sales. People over at Dispel Dice having a sale. So check that out. Oh, that did Norse Foundry again. I'm sorry. Dispel Dice. There we go. They're having a pretty good sale. Oh, hi. Yes, hello. All right. I need a screen now. Yes. I'm gonna pick you back up. Pick you back up. You may or may not like it. Yeah. Oh. Okay. All right. Let's look at some more news things. If you know of a TTRPG company that's having a sale, please let me know. We'll take a look, post a link, etc. I'll have to post a link, but yeah, let me know. Let's see here. Hey, I said no chewing the green screen. Come on, just a moment, folks. Be right back. Come on. All right, go upstairs. Alright, I had to guide the cat elsewhere, so, doesn't chew on the green screen, because, you know, don't want it shooting. So, we're looking at TTRPG news, things, Eldritch Foundry, ooh, let's go to Eldritch, oh, Pirate, yeah, you're a mod, you can post links. If you like Eldritch Foundry, they are a good place for your minis. And 40% off all minis. That's cool. See anyone else doing a sale like that? Don't know. All right. Oh, apparently there's deals on Lego kits if you are into Legos, because Legos can get very expensive. So if you're doing that, and I want to get into Gunpla, which is basically Gundam Snap Together minis, and I'll be streaming that. I think I'll dedicate a day of the week to that as well once I get that set up, because I want to create another setup for myself in a different part of the room, have a camera, table, everything, and put those together. And so a place near me, game store, is having a sale on them. That's like, I'm not quite ready to get these yet, so could you just make the sale until I'm ready? Until I have money, I gotta eat at PAX U. Let's see here. What is this? So yeah, again, feel free to ask questions, but this is also a portion just looking for articles on TTRPG stuff or talk about TTRPG things. So if you have anything you want to talk about around TTRPG stuff, by all means. But Black Friday deals are kind of dominating any of the news cycle. Oh, Free League's having a Black Friday sale. They're having a seal. What they're going to do with the seal, I don't know, but they're going to have one. No, it's a sale. So if you're interested in any of the Free League titles, they're freeleaguepublishing.com. They do the Blade Runner role-playing game, the Alien role-playing game, Lord of the Rings, Tales from the Loop, Vaesen, not quite sure, the Morkborg system. If you like that, go there. What time? Oh, we got some time yet to talk about some other things. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, also, if you want to know about sales, my friends over at the Gallant Goblin have a whole thread of things. Gallant Goblin is wonderful folks. Theo and Grady. They have a whole thread on best Friday deals, and check out their YouTube channel, by the way. Best Black Friday TTRPG deals. You can check that out right here. If you ever see Gallant Goblin around, tell them DC says hi. Because I miss both of them. They're really wonderful people. If you get to check them out, please do. All right, I think I'm gonna wrap up pretty soon here. I've done the keyboard bit. That was the main thing I wanted to talk about. So scheduling will be next week. I will be streaming. The plan is to stream Monday and Tuesday, very possibly Wednesday. And then I will be traveling to PAX Unplugged on Thursday. So there will be no stream Thursday. There won't be a Tech Friday on Friday next week. And I probably won't be a stream the following Monday either, as that should be my time to come back into town. So after Wednesday of next week, it'll be probably the following Tuesday before I get back to streaming. Though tonight on YouTube, or on twitch.tv/Vancouver by Night, is episode 3 of my 4-part werewolf series, Broken Spirits. Please check that out. Today you get a unique villain voice out of this mouth here. So please check that out. And then while I'm at PAX U, I'll try to be in chat tonight for that at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then next week while I'm at PAX U will be episode 4 of that series. Once again on twitch.tv/Vancouver by Night. It will also go up as a VOD on YouTube a little bit after the premiere. We pre-recorded all of these, so I already know the future. I know what happens. But please check it out. It was a lot of fun to be able to do that and be invited by Vancouver by Night to do a mini series on their channel. In the near future, I'm going to have a D&D actual play show on the channel. I will post everywhere about it when I can. We got some artwork in today. Got some overlays, which it's all looking fantastic. And so I will be posting everywhere about that once that comes together. And I already have my cast and everything, so yay. Just gotta get more of the other pieces together to go, here's a show, yay. So that'll be a lot of fun. Look for that coming up. And let's continue this raid over to who is on today. Shall we? Yeah, let's go raid over to Cypher. Because I think Cypher raided to Pirate, and now I'm just carrying that raid over back over. So be delightful. I will be back here Monday with more Baldur's Gate 3. I'm almost done. We got one more big fight, and then whatever else comes after that, whatever side questy things finish up, however it ends. But we have, full circle, excellent. We have one big fight left in Baldur's Gate 3, so please check that out. So that'll probably be Monday or Tuesday. After that, I'm gonna break from TTRPG, or not TTRPG, but RPG video games for a little bit and play some Super Mario Wonder, because that looks fantastic. So please come around for all of that. Also, just a personal note, something I'm excited about, briefly. So for a friend of mine, he's an instructor in another state and things, and he teaches various media things and intro things like that. And I will be doing a video for his group of middle schoolers on streaming and things, and so that'll be neat. It'll just be a private link on YouTube probably, or a Zoom call into his class, one of those things. But yeah, so that should be pretty fun and unique, and yeah. But yeah, so I have that coming up probably early next year. Just random news from me. Yeah, other than that, look for me at PAX U. I will be in 3 dimensions. Hope to see Pirate there. And take one of my business cards with Zero made this logo for me. And on the other side, you have my QR code information. Email me. Email me that stuff right there. So please come up, take a business card, because I want to get rid of them. That's the point of business cards, is to hand them out to people so they spread. If you want me to number it, I will, because I only have 50. Well, I have 49 now. Someone already got number 1, but if you want business card number 2, I will be glad to write 002 on the bottom of it. Then after that, they're gone. Exclusive set of 50. All right. Now I've made myself giggle. Okay, we're going to go right over to Cypher. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Pirate, for the raid. I really appreciate it. This will be edited down and put up on YouTube probably sometime this weekend or early next week. Definitely before I go to PAX U. So say hi. So have a great weekend, everybody. Please be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Stay tuned for the raid. And I'll see you all next week. Bye.